Oh yes, wonderful. Finally we are back online. Fusang Wuliang Tianzun. Yeah, we had a little bit connection problems. Maybe I have to figure out how this app better works. But now we are back in the game. And we could just continue our nice conversation. Maybe if you still join me for some tea, it's also already quite late, wherever you are. Fusang Wuliang Tianzun, my dear Dao friends. Say hello if you like. In the chat, we have a chat. We can chat. We can. I don't know if it's possible to also make multiple chat or multiple video stream. And just check if the new live session is also on the Facebook now. Yes, looks like it's live. Wonderful. I can see myself looking on the phone. Okay, very nice. Okay, Fusang Wuliang Tianzun, my dear Dao friends. Let's give it another try. We just had some connection issues here, but we hopefully solved all this with the other router. Yes, I'm just enjoying some tea tonight with you guys. Fusang Wuliang Tianzun, yeah. Mehmet, do you know what the Fusang Wuliang Tianzun come from? I just talk about this today in the stream. Maybe you have seen it. If not, maybe I can also talk more about this. Very nice, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, the stream here is also working. This looks like is giving me a subtitle, which is totally wrong. Thomas, nice having you back with us. So yeah, you guys could, we can just continue our conversation if you would like to talk something Daoism or Wudang related, just go ahead. And if you have questions also, okay, you can also ask questions. If you like to say something or express yourself, feel free to do that too. Well, again, this kind of apps is also new for me. I'm not an expert in this kind of things. And I also don't want to be an expert in this. As long as I can post some photos and some videos, that's fine for me. That's fine for me. Let's get some paper. Thomas, so you're also in Sweden, I guess. Mehmet, woher kennst du all diese Sachen, wenn ich fragen darf? Vielleicht willst du mir mal erzählen, so ein bisschen über dein Interesse. Ich habe noch keine Vorstellung so richtig. Yeah, Fusang Wuliang Tianzun is a kind of greeting. Yeah, that's how I always say Fusang Wuliang Tianzun. But it's also a Daoist name. It's not Daoist. It's a deity's name. It's a 49th Tianzun or Shenhao. It's a Daoist title or deity title, and we use this as a greeting form, kind of greeting. And but there's also a kind of incantation. If you feel no good, you can also recite this name Fusang Wuliang Tianzun. is the deity Xiong Wu Da Di, the patriarch of the Wudang, the god of the north. He was a Daoist and a person, a man, who cultivated himself for over 40 years and became an immortal at one point. And he ascended to heaven. So nicely to say that, right? Yes, Mehmet, have you heard about that? I just read the news that the German government is not closing over Easter. So I think the church or all the associations, whatever, they made some trouble about this. They cannot close now. This is what they probably wanted, but they cannot close now. I'm quite happy. Otherwise, people go crazy again about buying groceries in the lockdown. It's quite a hard thing to do. Surviving in the lockdown. It seems like it's working now a little bit better than before. Before we had some connection problems, but now I reset up a little thing is called repeater. You just plug in the socket and then it repeats the signal of the router. Another, I just say in English so everybody watching can see that. The normal way of greeting is also like say 你好, 师父, 福生, 师父你好, 师父你好. Don't need to say always 福生无量天尊. But this is also like a nice thing to say. Is like a greeting. Jeff Hardy, welcome to our live stream. Yeah, we can just talk about some daily casual stuff. We have now the task, or I asked my student also to help me, one of my students. Spiritual, yes, depends on your worldview. I guess, Thomas, hallucinations could be also named visions. Depends on what do you do or how you get those and how you use them. Ungleichgewicht. Was heißt Ungleichgewicht? Es ist ein gutes Gleichgewicht. Jetzt können die Leute sich ein bisschen auf innen besinnen. I say in English so everybody can hear it. He said what I think about the balance or the imbalance of this crazy time. In the moment, a lot of people are in the lockdown. But let me tell you one thing. China did it very, very good. You know, they made the hard lockdown. Then Jeff, you're in the wrong place. You know, I don't. Anyway, and that's a good idea. You could try it. Maybe you do it, and let us know. Oh, Mehmet, thank you for the long message. But let me answer this question from Bülent before. I hope it's okay. I answer in English. Otherwise, I'm gonna say it in German as well. Let me just read it again. Oh, I can also do it here. It's so far away, the stream. Let me just look up what you write in the stream. Okay, so let me answer first to Thomas, because his question came first. Okay, about the spiritual experiences, I also had many experiences with kind of spiritual practice, and see things and have visions and all these kind of things. I rarely talk about it. Only my closest students, they know about this, because they are like my children, and they can be part of my experience, or they can learn about my experience, so they learn something from it. But in general, I will not publicly announce anything what I see or because it's from my personal development, for my personal journey and path. But there's many things, and if I get the sign that it should be public, then this is also something what I can share. There's many things I've experienced in my spiritual practice, which is not of this world, not of the material world what we live in right now. There's, if we want to go very deep into this talk, it could probably fill hours, but just let me keep it very simple. There's many different realms, and they all stack over each other, similar to the idea of dimensions. You have the dimension of the ghost, you have the dimension of the deities or the spirit, the immortals, and so on and so on and so on. And we are in the human dimension, or in the human realm, and we can experience things with our eyes. But when we have the ability to look behind that facade or the images we can see here, it takes practice and the right method. If we don't know the right method, we will never be able to, let's call it, open the third eye or look inside us or something like this. There's many ways to describe it, but people who really enjoy this or enjoys this view, they will rarely talk about this, in my opinion. I have also Shifu teach me many things, but every second sentence is only for you. Everything what you see is for you. Oleg, Fusang Wuliang Tianzun. Thank you for transportation. Yeah, I don't know what you mean with transportation, but many people who are Thomas, one more sentence about this. One more thing. People think this hallucination is not real, but many times when we you have to understand this way. Sometimes in certain situations, it's like we can open a window and peek into a different dimension. This happens during our sleep, during our body relax, and the mind can fully expand. And this also happens during trance meditation or deep state meditation. And translation, yes. I will translate what our German friends are gonna say, and I'm going to explain it. Yeah, I'm just reading the questions here, and sometimes we can peek into this also. Sometimes when we have extreme experience, like a heavy accident or near-death experience, we can peek into different realms, and So it's very simple as it is. These things are real as you and me. And yes, Oleg, how are you doing? I hope you're good. I'm very happy to see your practice going well. I see, and I follow your videos. Very nice. Bülent, aus der Perspektive des Daoismus, was denkst du über die folgende Zeit? Okay, so Bülent asked about my opinion about this crazy time and this perspective from Daoism or Daoist view on these things. in fact, like I just mentioned already, is imbalance is only like the obvious what we can see, but we can adapt. We are human people, we are not a stone. We can adapt to this situation and we can do the best out of it. And this is my honest opinion. We can use all the time we have now for personal practice, for learning a new language or a new instrument, whatever you like to do, and shouldn't waste it with too much video games and stuff like this. Instead of staring on this, I'm going just to look on this thing here. Yeah, in a deep trance state, you can find yourself. Chris Rose, hello, greetings, Chris Rose. Welcome. Now, I promised a few days ago already that we are doing a daily live stream now, and I think it's better to do it around this time. This time is also silent. All the work is done from the day, for me at least, and I can talk a little bit more freely and more relaxed on the chat. I'm reading some of the questions of you guys. Mehmet said he loves Daoism and he studies it since 6 years. Yeah, so for this I have to say, the Taoism is a practice and a way of cultivation. It doesn't really doesn't really mismatch. You can do all the other kind of religion practices, and the Taoist philosophy is still going very well with everything, also with Islam, also with Christian religion, Buddhism, all these kind of things. The only recommendation I will do is that, if you are doing like religious practices or praying and all these cultivations, should be stick to one thing and bring it to the end. It's not good to mix many methods like spiritual cultivation together, because then you will end up with no final treasure. Mehmet, du kannst mir auch jederzeit schreiben. If your English is good, we can communicate in English during the live stream. I can also give you some recommendations, and if you like, I can also send you some books, if you're interested in reading some books. Wenn du möchtest, kannst du mir auch ein bisschen mehr über dich schreiben. Ja, Türken und Chinesen sind sehr ähnlich, finde ich auch. Aber weißt du, das kommt alles durch diese Völkerwanderung. Ja, es sind ja auch sehr viele von der DNA sehr ähnliche. Yeah, it's okay, Mehmet. You can just practice your English with me. It's also okay. I'm also not very good in English. Okay, here I can only see the Facebook chat. Maybe I need to put this app also on this phone so I can read it better. Otherwise, I always have to make a long neck here. It's Chris Rose from New York. I bless you guys in the US, and I hope everything goes well, and the family of yours is healthy, and all your friends, all the Dao friends all around the world. Oh, my tea is cold. Reading all the chat. Ruja and Kunze. Okay, like Ruja is the Confucianism, and what? Okay, so the Daoist practice is more about cultivation, and the Rujia practice is more about the society and how to act with the De, with the virtuousness. Sam, 护生无量天尊，护生无量天尊 Sam Lim. Is this Sam? Is this a good time? 这个时间可以吗？你们那边也可以看到是吧？你们那边现在几点了？你是不是在马来西亚？我没错吧？我记得你还在东南亚吗？这个时间你们现在几点了？我现在就想找一个最合适的时间，全世界的道友都可以跟我一起喝喝茶，品茶论道。Okay, let me. And the saying of Kongzi is the student of Laozi is also quite true, because many of the ideas of the Taoism, of the Dao De, and Dao De means like the Dao and its virtuousness, or the Dao and the De. It's also, you can also find in the teaching of Kongzi. So he adapted, or he uses a lot of he uses a lot of ideas from Laozi. And of course, when we talk about the society or social circles is our family, we have to be nice to other people, and this is also based on the idea of the Kongzi. 6点半可以啊，现在是上早课是吧？哦，你已经完了，好，那可以啊。我刚才还有收到一个四川的师兄给我发消息，他每一天早上给我发消息。OK， 已经上完早课，那可以啊，上完早课。做法事啊，做法事，你们做什么法？今天有什么活动吗？ And Thomas, okay, about the treasure. And what's the treasure? Doesn't we all search for the same? I don't know what you're searching for. My treasure is my Daoist skills, my Dao Fa, what I got taught by my Shifu, and I can use this to do a lot of things, and this is my treasure. It's my Dao Fa. Dao Fa, 自然而来. You understand what this is? What this means? The Dao Fa is a Daoist method, the skill you can develop, and it comes naturally from practice. But if one never has the chance to learn these kind of things because the fate doesn't allow him to meet a certain master in the right time, then maybe it's not the right thing for him. Ah, 超度，好，那你辛苦了啊 ，Sam， 辛苦了。你早上这么早要出门做法，那可以了。人多吗？今天？像我看你跟我好多同样的朋友，我看你应该是这个做道长做的时间也很长。Thomas, there's also, in fact, we have one big goal. Okay, we want to be one with the Dao and such things, but what we do on the way, Daoist practice, Daoist cultivation is not only just sitting there or zhanzhuang, or doing the taiji, but there's scriptures, and when we not recite scriptures, there's no way we understand where the Dao come from, or what the Dao is, or what the Daoist cultivation is. There's many methods, many Dao Fa. Dao Fa. Fa means the method or the skills we can develop. And there's many things. There's Lei Fa, there's Beidao Fa, there's Tianyi Fa. So many things. And everyone, every lineage, every real transmission is one developed skill. For example, today I made a little introduction about the Jingguang Fa, the golden light. A method is always a complete thing. A method has scriptures, has reciting incantation, has seals them, fu, the symbols. A complete method has hand seals. And with the right method, you can, in short time, develop a certain skill. And my students study with me, also from the online course. They already developed a skill from regular practice. Maybe Oleg can also give a comment to this. The regular practice is important, and the right method. The sounds, the way of reciting, the way of doing certain things. It's not only like sitting in emptiness will bring you nothing, honestly. Because that's not a method. I get already 5-6 messages from China, from Sichuan. Maybe I'm gonna check that very quick. I should also download the WeChat on this phone. Then I could do it. I'm gonna do it later. Yeah, so it is important, that's why it's important to have a master. Because with a master, with a shifu, you will have the chance to get the transmission of these kind of skills. And like I said, there's many skills one can learn. It also depends on each one's fate. Martial arts. I'm practicing martial arts so many years. Today I also on the phone with Yo Xuande, my Shiye. Maybe Thomas, who's Yo Xuande. He's also what if you Simon student, you probably know who is Yo Xuande Yo Xuande Grandmaster Yo Xuande. He called me yesterday, and I talked to him on the phone today as well. And they are now at one event, so he just want to let me know. I cannot really look at it; it's so small on the chat window. I have to look on this phone here. Weird. No, it's not showing up. Yeah, thanks Oleg for saying this. Oh, here's phone is almost no power. When the power is off, then the stream is over. Yeah, so the Oleg is one of my students. Join us for the online classes, and I already know he made amazing progress during that time, and I'm sure also his other cultivations like Qigong or Taiji or meditation has benefits from this. Yeah, the Jingguang Fa, the golden light method, is a great benefits. Yeah, it's not difficult. It's really easy, and this is most of the Daoist methods are easy. Or if you need to put the effort in so you get the results. And I don't know if Sam's still watching, but if you do the Dao Talk, like the ceremony, you're obviously 高供大师, 高供法师, and it is also not very difficult to learn all this, but you have to have a basic skill. Everybody could do it when they just mimic the dance or mimic the activities, but if you don't have the right connection through the serious internal practice with the deities will not act through you. So there's also many of my students, they receive talisman or also blessings from me, and that only works because I receive the blessing from the deity, or I receive the spiritual energy, or the spirit works through me, however you want to call it. if I would not put the effort in and practice every night for many hours, or all these practices of cultivation, this will never work. You like making holy water and spray it on some sick person and they get healed again. This is something what many people want to achieve, but it takes many years of practice to reach this level actually. And without the practice of the golden light, 金光法, like I said, it's the most basic, most essential practice. These kind of things are also not working, because the golden light you have to receive, and it's an easy thing. It's an easy thing to say, but it's also not that difficult to achieve when you do it honestly and on a regular basis, like every day. Same like you want to develop a Kung Fu skill, like Zhanzhuang, you need to Zhanzhuang, or you want to get really good in Tai Chi, you need to always do the basics and so on. Zhanzhuang is also Tai Chi basics. So maybe there's a few more people watching now. Maybe you can also tell me what is your Daoist practice, or what do you practice? Do you practice Tai Chi? Do you practice Zhanzhuang? Do you practice Qigong? Or do you practice scriptures? And if you like to practice scriptures, you could also let me know. If you want to receive this kind of scripture, it's Liu Ping Xian Jing. Liu Ping Xian Jing is printed or is published by the Dao Shu. This is like the German Dao library of the German Daoist Association, and we published this as a practice manual or practice book. It has 6 scriptures, or the morning evening liturgy, Sanguan Jing, Beidou Jing, Yu Shu Bao Jing, and also the Xiong Miao Jing. 6 scriptures for practices with the Chinese and the Pinyin for the right pronunciation. It's no translation, but it's the practice. For the practice, for reciting, for those of you who want to learn or practice scriptures. So I'm not sure why I cannot share or pull anyone in this. It usually worked when I only go on Facebook. Well, maybe it doesn't work that way with this app. I'm using a special app. It's not Facebook, it's a different app, and I'm also quite new with this, but maybe I could still figure out how to make the conference chat so I can also talk with you guys live on the stream. Yeah, the Jingguang Fa, the golden light method, what Oleg mentioned, is also very essential for drawing Fu. I use this every day. I practice this every day. Jingguang Fa. I need to put up some water. This app is good because it streams on Facebook and on YouTube, so we have both kind of channels open, which is nice, and I really appreciate it. But here I really cannot. I usually can tip on this one here, and I can just see who is online. This is not working here, so I cannot see who's joining the stream. Normally I would greet the people who join my stream, and for this I have to see who's on. It's also something new. Well, we're gonna learn, we're gonna adapt, we're gonna learn. I can only see here 6 people now, but I can't see who. Well, anyway, if you guys want to talk about Taoism, you're welcome to ask questions or tell me your experiences. And I would also like to know where you guys from. Now it's also quite late, and I'm just trying to figure out how to use this app the best way. Maybe today is just a tryout, and tomorrow we can use it a little better. Yeah, we can, Thomas, we can call this there's many pillars of method. Method is like a set of certain tools, and like, for example, you want to make a table, you need to have a saw, you need to have a hammer for the nails, you need to have the nails, and maybe some glue, and the wood, so you can make a table. This is like one set of things, or you can call it a set of skills also. Well, we have online courses now. We have like video courses for the Daoist study program, morning, evening scriptures. And in the moment, the 3rd semester of the online class is running as the Beidou Jing ceremony. And we also gonna publish the video course for this very soon. We have now, 2 days ago, I published this Daoist ritual study program for the Jingguang Fa. The first one is for the Jingguang Fa. There's also others coming, but one by one, step by step. So we also published volume 1 and volume 2 of the Daoist Talisman program, and volume 3 is also coming very soon. The other programs we have is the Wudang Archives. We published videos for learning the forms and also the basics for the Xingyi, Bagua and Taiji. Also like kind of Yin Zhang, it's called Wudang Yin Zhang, is kind of iron palm, the palm or hand conditioning, and Qigong sets and a lot of basics. This is called Wudang Archives. If you're interested in the programs, you can also look up the website. It's called wu-dang-pi.de, wu-dang-pai.de. DE is Deutschland, it means Germany, the DE. And there is like a menu option for the online classes or the programs we have. Once it's possible, usually we have here every year 2 local courses, intensive classes for scriptures. And in my opinion, because I'm also a priest or doing the scripture practice every day, and in my opinion, for practice or cultivating Dao, it's essential to learn scriptures. And we always start with the Zawanke, the morning and evening liturgy, and this is what we also advertise or also teach in the courses here. Mehmet, that's a good question. He asked why nowadays nobody can get older than 150 years. And he asks if there's Dao masters, they live 500 years in the moment. Yeah, there's Master Li. Master Li was a doctor, and it said he had over 200 children, which is only possible because he has 23 wives in all his lifetime. And he was quite old, but his master was over 500 years old. This is all recorded in Daoist records, and this Dao master is I'm sure there's Dao masters, but you will not find them because they're hiding in plain sight. If the fate allows you to meet them, you're gonna meet them. But I'm sure there's people still live 500 years nowadays with the right method. And there will be next generations of those masters as well. So 长生不死. 长生不死 means long life without dying. At one point they will leave this earth and transcend to the heaven, but until then they can cultivate the Dao for a long time. Yeah, brilliant. The golden light method is very, I don't want to say easy to learn, but it's easier than many other methods. It's easy to learn in terms of the stuff you have to do, the practice. It has incantation, it has a symbol or talisman, 符篆. And has a hand seal and hand 手印 and 手诀, hand seal and hand position. I can, when I look on this, to read the comments, I can see myself doing what I did a couple of minutes ago. That's really funny. You see, it's a couple seconds later. I think it's a good time for everyone to join the stream during these hours. I think it's nice to have a late talk. Can talk about more stuff. Yeah. When you drink tea, you always need to have some snacks, and I like this. It's like red dates. 红枣. Is it called dates? Well, is it called dates? It's from China. 红枣. They're actually from Xinjiang, and I love Xinjiang. If you don't know what's Xinjiang, Xinjiang is in the west of China, and is they have very, very beautiful food and beautiful people. Yeah, I like this. 红枣. There's a stone inside, you cannot eat it, I guess. If you go into the Asia shop, wherever you are, in the Asian supermarket, you can find these kind of things. It's like this kind of dates. They're also good for tea. I now drink very diluted Dao. Like I said before, this tea is quality-wise, it's not the worst I ever drank, but it's also not that strong, and I really like the strong tea from the stone tea from Wuishan. my student from Fujian, Alice, he's also a big fan of this kind of tea, and he sent me just a few bags of tea. Still not arrived yet. Now, so tea is in this kind of little bags. Yeah. I also like, drink tea, Bülent. I like to drink tea and talk about Dao, because then you can totally enjoy yourself. 品茶论道. Normally you need a scissor to cut this open. Yes, but the Mehmet, the red dates, it also depends on what kind of character or what kind of qi chang you have. If you have too much fire, then you also should not eat that. Depends. Need to have a balance. Made a big mess here. Put all the tea on the table. Need to have a very balanced diet, so you can be very healthy and strong. But you're right, they are really healthy. And if you do fasting, then you can also eat those, and they're gonna fill you up very quick, and they're sweet. They make you feel the power. Yeah, Constitution, also the Constitution. It's really important. If one understands what they have to eat, they're gonna have a strong body. If your body gonna tell you what they need, in fact, and you need to just know what type of food have what kind of benefits. Yeah, Bülent, I'm very happy you also think that way. I'm enjoying this time because all the work of the day is done, and we just wait for later hours to practice or cultivate ourselves. I'm usually practice until 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and my practices yeah, the Dao Pao, Oleg, the Dao Pao I'm getting is a really strong one, and I would like to share with you. If we have the chance to meet soon, I will keep some of this for you, for us. If not, I could also ask my student from China to send you some. There is, certain types of Dao Pao. Dao Pao has sweet and has the smoky flavor, and I like the smoky flavor because this one have the mineral kind of taste, this kind of stone, because it's called rock tea in English. It's a yencha because they grow on the kind of high cliff and get all the minerals from the rocks. Oleg, I know you love tea, and we have a lot of things to talk every time we talk, so I think it's nice to have a good tea. I just need to put them in the water a little longer. I'm not very picky with tea, but it should have a good flavor. I also have some of our udang tea, the green tea here. But in this late hour, I will not drink green tea because then, it's too much energy, too much energy for me. Usually, I don't drink green tea or everything what's above this line of oolong. Yeah, oolong. Maybe I explain a little bit about. There's white tea, there's green tea, there's oolong tea, There's black tea or red tea is Hong Cha, and then there is black tea. Hong Cha is what we say Schwarz tea or black tea here, but it's also called red tea. There's difference in Chinese tea culture, and there is the dark tea like pu'er and such things. But if you say pu'er, there's two differences. Pu'er is the shoupu, is the fresh one, not fermented, and that's the shupu, which is fermented. The not fermented is like green tea. It's really strong. It's a really high energy. So if you drink this in the late hours, you will never sleep. And white tea the same. White tea, green tea, they all have a lot of power. They have the tea power. You can drink this after breakfast. Green tea, I would recommend not to drink green tea. And the raw pu'er is called shoupu. Shengpu. Shoupu is the fermented. The shengpu is also same like green tea. I like all kind of teas, but it depends on what kind of period and what time. Oh yeah, but you're now in the LA area. You have now a different time, right? What time is it in LA? Is morning or is it noon time? What do you mean, Thomas, with a different pie, like a pie, like school, I guess, right? 4 p.m. 4 p.m. 4 p.m. is a good time for having a shengpu. 4 p.m. is a good time for having the shengpu. Thomas, I have a big book. It's old scripture. It's old scripture. It's thick like this, and every page have the different kind of pie. There's hundreds of thousands of different lineages of different schools. So once you get really into the Taoism, there's not only one or two kind of Taoism. People consider the big, like the general directions, the Zhengyi pie and the Chunzhen pie, but there's mixes and all kind of different types of each of those. There's many misunderstandings even from the Chinese side. Oh yeah, sometimes need to drink a little bit less tea, 7, 8 cups. Yeah, you mean big cups, right? You see what kind of small cups I drink. It's like only one sip and it's gone. Yeah, for answering a little bit more about Thomas's question, he asked about the different pie and variations. Just an example. We have the North Patriarch and we have the Southern Patriarch. The Southern Patriarch is generally speaking, it's also not necessarily is all like this, but generally speaking, there is more esoteric practice, more alchemy practice, and all this kind of Weigong. Weigong is also religious practice, like when we do ceremonies and all these kind of things. And the Northern Patriarchs, they transmitted, like for example, Lu Dongbing. I point there because there is a painting of him. Lu Dongbing and Han Zhongli, Wang Chongyang, Wang Chongyang, the fourth patriarch, and the founder, the forefather for the Chunzhen Pai. The founder, why I say founder, he is the fourth patriarch of the Chunzhen Pai, because his Shifu and his Shifu grandmaster and so on, they practiced these kind of techniques before, but because him, Chunzhen Pai get his name from Wang Chongyang. Wang Zi had or built himself a little heart for practicing, and he called this Chunzhen An. Chunzhen An is like the heart for the real or the true reality or the complete reality. Chunzhen means the complete truth or complete reality. This is how we can translate this. And only his students or later generations would consider this or would use this name to name this lineage or this transmission, this tradition. We can also call it a tradition because every master who created practices or used a method for cultivating until he realized Dao, and he would transmit this, is a new tradition. And Wang Zhi, he get transmission from Lü Dongbing and Han Zhongli and Liu Haichan, and they taught him things, but he made his own development, right? And if you want to learn more about this, you're welcome to join me every day. I can teach you and I can tell you many, many things about this. Chunzhen Pai. And later generations or the students of Wang Zi had 7 students. Actually had more students, but 7 master students who are really also later on founded their own schools, their own traditions. And one of their students is Qiu Chuji. Qiu Chuji is the founder of the Lungmen Pai, the Dragon Gate school. And Dragon Gate's lineage or Dragon Gate school, Lungmen Pai, is also like a branch of Chunzhen Pai. Chunzhen Pai there is also different. Huashan Pai is also Chunzhen Pai. You know, there's many, many branches. Like those of a tree, you have one big stem. Yeah? The ancient traditions are like Shangqing Pai, Taiping Jiao, and Dadao Jiao, and so, which you will not find nowadays, maybe when you look very closely. And if you are very deep in this community in China, like me, I would rather say where I'm from, people will recognize by the way you do things. So I'm not used to say, who's my shifu? Nobody asked me this. You know, many people ask, but they are just not really into this kind of traditions. If somebody know Taoism, and nowadays the community, there's so many masters who maybe transmit lineages from what you never heard before. There's so many. And but in general, there's also, again back to the general idea, there is also the Zhengyi Pai. Zhengyi Pai is based, or is what people now say is based on the Zhengyi Zhu Shi. Zhengyi Zhenren is also called Zhengyi Zhenren. Zhang Daoling. Zhang Daoling is the founder, or was the founder, of the Wudongmi Pai. Wudongmi Pai is the five dough. Dough is like a shuffle. It's a 5 shuffle of rice. Yeah, I practice what the practicee do. For Oleg's question, let me read it out loud. He mentioned the video I do, or we do. It's not only me, but also my students. Xinhe from Canada, my good student, about the Xiongwu Dadi and Wudangshan, the journey. And recently, if you follow me on the Instagram, you see many parts. And recently, I uploaded part 9 of the journey of Xiongwu. And Xiongwu Dadi cultivated himself in the Wudangshan, and the way of his cultivation, of course, there's also a transmission. And for those who don't know much about me, I'm also a disciple of the Xiongwu Pai. And for Thomas, there is also very important for differ Kung Fu or martial art and Taoism. Xiongwu Pai or all these Pai, they are Taoist traditions. They have nothing to do with martial arts. Also in Wudang Pai, in Wudang Shan. Wudang Pai is only a general name. There is nothing. This is like a top, like the headline, yeah. And under this you have all the different branches. There's many branches of Wudang Shan, which we would consider Wudang Pai because they are going back to the time of Jansen Feng and Xiongwu Dadi. And it is said that Jansen Feng also get transmission from Xiongwu Dadi in a dream. But maybe we can also talk about this. Or better, you watch the videos on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram and watch the journey of Xiongwu Dadi. Xiongwu Dadi has a certain practice, and of course it has theories and practices, cultivations, which was transmitted to me as well. Kung Fu is Kung Fu. There is many masters, they also practice martial arts because it is good for health and it's good for self-defense, but it is not the major practice of a Taoist. Jansen Feng wrote a lot of poems and a lot of scriptures and a lot of theories and transmissions about his teachings, and in most of them he never even mentioned any Taiji Chuan. His Taiji practice is Zhanzhuang and Dazhuo. So Zhanzhuang, the standing practice, and the sitting practice, meditation. So we have to understand that martial arts are only a tool of Taoist cultivation, same like meditation, same like Qigong, same like calligraphy, or same like similar to many of these. Many people, they practice Taoist music as a Taoist practice. It's a tool of cultivating Tao. Some people, they, yeah. So maybe I'm sure I mentioned many things in the documentary. It's like the first part of a 3-part documentary, but the third part is never published because there was a sound problem. And once, if I have more time, I will redo many clips when I go to Wudang next time, and then we can publish the third part. But in the first part, I talk about the journey of Xiongwu Dadi. I mentioned also fasting, and there's Oh, okay, I have to turn on the battery saver. Not now. That's still there. Also, Qintuan practice. Yeah, there is fastings and certain practices, Qigong practice, and also many things. It's, Xiongwu Dadi learned from the deities, from the Sanqing, from Yuan Shi Tianzun. And yes, you're right. Oleg, you mentioned that Chen Tuan also practiced in Wudang Shan, and just in the last part, I think the part of before we just published, we mentioned Chen Tuan's practice. Not to get confused, we made part 1, 2, and 3. It's like a bigger documentary, and I cut the first part into many short videos. And if you look on Instagram, you're gonna find the video of Xiongwu's journey. Thomas said, I stick with Xuan with. I don't understand what this means. And then wrong. Maybe you explain what you mean. Chen Tuan is also considered as the master of Zhen Feng, or one of the teachers. It's also a very good example for one kind of practice we can do every day, as a sleeping practice, or Shui Gong. He also named himself, or he was named, the sleeping dragon. And if you're interested in more of the story of Chen Tuan, you can watch the last part we uploaded on Instagram. You follow me, Daoist Liu, on Instagram, and there's the video where I talk about the Chen Tuan. One moment, what time is it? Oh, it's 0:16. Time for my practice soon. Let's drink some more tea and then yeah, it's, maybe you didn't understand what I mean, Thomas. 玄武, yeah, 玄武派. You need to understand that the 玄武派, what you practice there, is has nothing to do with the Daoist tradition. It's a Gong Fu, and this Gong Fu is transmitted from Yu Xuande to Simon's master, and from him to Simon, and from Simon to you. You know, it's the Gong Fu. But again, 玄武派 is a Daoist tradition, and it has nothing to do with the Gong Fu. But maybe this knowledge will open a door for you, and you could look deeper into the tradition of the 玄武派. 玄武派 is renamed. It was the name. It is a tradition named 玄武真武派 before, and it's just renamed to 玄武派. Documentary, yeah, Oleg. I also like it. I always watch, but I know what is coming next, so it's no surprise anymore. I get messages here already, 10 messages from China. But it's all audio, so I have to listen to it later. How about I'll drink some more tea and then I gotta go for my practice. I'm quite happy. Yeah, thank you. I'm also happy to see you guys. I just want to say the same thing. I'm very happy to see you guys, and I'm very happy that this app is working well. So it's also a good time to do it in the evenings. And I'm gonna share this live stream on the YouTube channel, and also at the same time on Facebook, on the Facebook page. Let's see how this works out, and if this works well, then we can do it this way. Yeah, Thomas, also what I just wanted to mention is you can also ask me, let me know if you have more questions about Taoism. I'm happy to help you and tell you more about the 玄武派. Again, there's many things besides the martial arts, and the martial arts from the 玄武派. You have to understand that this style is not called 玄武派. the Daoist tradition is called 玄武派. What you probably, I just guess, you learn the Michuan Taiji and Xiaoyaozhang, maybe the Bagua. They have all names and they are all styles by itself. So when you say you learn a martial arts style or you practice a martial arts style, then this style is not called 玄武派 or Wudang Pai. This is what I wanted to say. They all have names. Like for example, Yin Yang Bagua Zhang, Lao Bagua Zhang, Lao Ba Zhang. This is Bagua style, and taught by Simon's master. Because I know his teacher very well, very well. Tang Sifu. So I have a calligraphy just in the bag up there. He gave me once. Yeah. Because Tang Sifu is my uncle, generally speaking. My uncle. Oleg, yeah, when it's time, we meet each other in LA. I'm gonna visit you guys in LA. When the pandemic is over, I'm gonna make a world tour, I guess. But first I'm gonna go to China. See what's going on in China. Okay, my dear friends. I guess we're gonna wrap this up for today. It's already 1 hour and 11 minutes. That's a good time. The tea is also finished. And I can go practice my things. Yeah, it's gonna be great, right? Oleg, you can also join me on the world tour. Or if we go to China, maybe you want to join us. I know most of your classmates, they want to join us. Like, I guess all your classmates want to join for the next China tour. Yes, Thomas, yeah, my phone is also dying. I guess my battery is also just breathing on the last hold. And yeah, we're gonna do it next. I want to do it daily. Maybe not every day that long, but at least have some drinks, have some tea, and talk about Daoism. Like we did before the pandemic, we did a daily thing. I remember Oleg was watching it almost every day, and I want to share more of my knowledge with you guys and answer your questions and share experiences with you. And I'm most happy if you share your experiences and your practices with me. And yeah, let's create this kind of community. And I'm happy about all Dao friends all around the world. Yeah, I'm Daoist Leo, and let's wrap this up now. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the thumbs up. I just see it here. Somebody sent me a heart. Very nice of you guys. Yeah, like I said, we want to make it a daily thing, and YouTube or on Facebook, and we're gonna upload the replay for you guys later if you want to watch it. Maybe we keep it for a couple days. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, everybody, and I'm happy if I see you next time. Good night. 福生无量天尊。